This video will cover the details for the 2020 Illinois Youth Soccer Futsal State Cup. The first thing we want to point out is important upcoming dates, the first being this Saturday, January 11th, which is the deadline for all coaches to email copies of their valid coaching passes from an Illinois Youth Soccer member league, or to submit their background check information as well as their CDC concussion certification and safe sport training. January 15th is the deadline in which to have all your players entered into your event roster in Got Soccer. And all boys teams play on Saturday, January 25th, with girls teams on Sunday, January 26th. All games will be played at the UW Health Sports Factory in Rockford, Illinois. For those of you that have participated in the past, it's the same location we've hosted for the last 2 years. For those of you that are new, it's a 4-year-old facility with an 8-court basketball complex, and we'll be utilizing those basketball courts for our futsal fields. Yesterday, you received an email with the schedules for the Futsal State Cup. If you didn't get that email or lost it, you can also find the complete listings of the schedule on our website. So if you go to illinoisyouthsoccer.org, go under Events to Futsal State Cup, you can access either by clicking right here at 2020 Futsal State Cup, or also under the event details, you'll see the link here for the schedule. So if we look at one of our schedules, for example, the U13 boys, all locations are listed. All the location is at the UW Health Sports Factory, and the number there is the specific basketball court or futsal field for this event that you'll be playing on. Again, both group play and elimination games will all be played on a single day for each gender. As noted in the email, due to our limited space and time that we do have at the complex and the number of teams that are participating, we cannot honor any game changes. So please plan accordingly with coach to have the appropriate number of coaches should there be 2 teams from your club playing at the same time. As I mentioned in our first slide, we do have requirements if you're a coach for this event. To be an eligible coach for this event, you either need to have a current valid coaching pass from an Illinois Youth Soccer member competitive league, meaning that that pass is for the fall 2019 spring 2020 season. If you currently have a valid coaching pass from either the Central Illinois Youth Soccer League, Illinois Women's Soccer League, Iowa Soccer League, St. Louis Youth Soccer Association Illinois, or Young Sportsman Soccer League, you can simply scan a copy of that and send it to katie@illinoisyouthsoccer.org. This will verify that you've met all of the risk management requirements of Illinois Youth Soccer for this event. If you do not have a valid coaching pass from one of those 5 member competitive leagues or an Illinois Youth Soccer tournament-only coach's pass, you need to do each of the following: an Illinois Youth Soccer background check, complete your CDC concussion training, and also complete your safe sport certification. All this information has been shared with you previously, but how to meet each of those 3 requirements if you don't have a current valid member coaching pass is listed on our website. So again, if we're at illinoisyouthsoccer.org under the Futsal State Cup, if you scroll down to here, you'll see the coaching information. Again, here lists how you would have a valid coaching pass from one of our 5-member competitive leagues or from an Illinois Youth Soccer tournament-only coaches pass. If you're a member of any other soccer organizations, those coaching passes would not be valid for this. So you would need to do the following. So if you do not have a coaching pass from one of these, your first step would be to take your concussion training. So if you click on this link on our website here, it'll take you to the Heads Up training. Hit the training, and then you can start there. You'll go through the process, and at the conclusion of that, you'll get a certificate, a PDF of a certificate. You save that certificate by your last name, first name, and then put concussion certificate. The next step would be to take your background check. So if you click on here, this will take you to the Illinois, I guess it does not. Oh, here you go. It will take you to the Illinois Youth Soccer background database. Apparently you do not want to use Internet Explorer for that. You would click on the part that you have not taken your Safe Sport training here, and you would start your process here. From there, you'll get walked through everything that you need to complete. You'll also upload your concussion training certificate there. While you're going through that, you want to select Illinois Youth Soccer as your member organization, and then continue entering your information. You submit your background check. You submit your payment for the background check. There is a fee associated with that. And then you'll also after you complete that, you'll also start your Safe Sport training following that. And then once you complete your Safe Sport training, it'll automatically link it to your account in Sports Engine so that we can see a one-stop shop that you've completed your background check, your Safe Sport training, and once you upload your concussion certificate, that you've done your concussion certificate. The good thing about this too then is going forward, should you look to get a coaching pass from one of our member competitive leagues, these are the same requirements that you would have to do to get a coaching pass for one of the leagues. So should you need a pass for the spring, you've now completed all the requirements, and you'll be able to share that with the competitive league in which you're registering with. The next thing, so you need to submit one of those two things no later than Saturday, January 11th. You need to email those to katie@illinoisyouthsoccer.org. Please note that any team that does not have a coach that has completed one of these two verifications will be removed from the event and be replaced by one of the teams on our wait list. Every team needs to have a coach that has submitted one of these two validations of our risk management policy. Oops, we're going a little too fast here. For roster, you have until Wednesday, January 15th at 3 p.m. to enter all of the players that will be competing for your team into the GOT Soccer system. The instructions on how to enter players in GOT Soccer, again, are available on our website. It shows right here, and then there's also a PDF with a step-by-step information on how to enter your players. So again, all players that will be competing for your team in the futsal need to be entered into this roster by Wednesday, January 15th at 3 p.m. A few notes for the roster. A player can only be rostered to and play on one team each day of the tournament. That means a male player cannot be listed on two boys' teams because all the boys' teams play on Saturday. A female player could play with a boys' team on Saturday and then also play with a female team on Sunday. And you are allowed to use players from other clubs for this event, or it's not limited to only Club Pass players. For all the players that you list on your Got Soccer roster, you need to send information verifying their age to Katie at IllinoisYouthSoccer.org no later than 3 p.m. on Thursday, January 16th. This would be 24 hours after you enter your finalized roster into Got Soccer, so you have a little time to collect all that information and submit it. If your players are registered to one of the Illinois Youth Soccer member competitive leagues, CIYSL, IWSL, ILLWA, SLISA, or YSSL, or if they have an Illinois Youth Soccer tournament-only pass, you can simply scan each of those passes or the pass for that individual player and email them to Katie. Or if you're taking an entire team that was registered to, say, the IWSL in the fall, you can simply just send us your IWSL league roster showing all those players. You can send either or. You don't need to send us both the league roster and copies of all their passes. One or the other will suffice. Again, those are only for teams registered to one of our 5 member competitive leagues. For any player registered to an organization other than Illinois Youth Soccer, you must send both of the following to Katie by January 16th. A completed copy of the Illinois Youth Soccer medical release form, which you can find on our website. There's a link to it right here. It's also available under our forms, IYSA policies and forms. It's the very first one listed here. You would also need, for any player that doesn't have a valid IYSA member league pass, we also need a copy of one of these 3 things along with their medical release form. A copy of their birth certificate, a copy of their passport, or a copy of a state-issued ID. And when you send this information, we ask that you send the entirety for the whole team all at once with the team name and age group to Katie. Please don't send individual player information or have parents send them individually to Katie. We want all of it together, one email sent to Katie with the entire team. And please note that any player that's not listed in the Got Soccer roster or that we do not receive any of the age verification information for will not be eligible to participate in the event. So when you enter your player information, be sure to enter all of it properly and include a player photo that you upload. The reason we have you upload a photo is you will be printing and using player passes that will be generated through Got Soccer specifically for this event. The week leading up to the event, you will get an email about how that your player passes are ready to print. It is the team's responsibility to print those player passes and bring them to the tournament. Again, if we go to our website, there again is another PDF with information on how you'll be able to print each of those player passes, and they'll look like this. As you notice, they say futsal only, so that will they're only for this event, so we don't have to worry about any players being registered to a different club for their spring season. Any team that doesn't bring those Got Soccer generated passes, we can print them on site, but you will be subject to a $20 player pass printing fee. The competition rules have been posted up on our website, and you can find them again at illinoisyouthsoccer.org. Events, Futsal State Cup 2020 event details, right here in big and bold. All the rules for the event. Please take time at your leisure to review them so that you're aware of all the gameplay rules. A couple of, we have it listed here, how we'll be scoring for the event, with wins earning a team 3 points, a tie 1, and 0 points for a loss. Our tiebreaker criteria, first one being head-to-head. If we have more than 3 teams tied, that's not taken into consideration. And then our next ones would be most wins, goal differential with a max of 4 goals per game. So let's say we have a game that gets a little out of hand and a team ends up winning, say 10-2. The most goal differential that will be taken into consideration for that would be 4, not the full 8. That's the max is 4. And this will probably be the most important one. Our fourth tiebreaker is goals allowed. So focusing on the defensive effort that could differentiate a team from advancing or not. Footwear, obviously we're playing on hardwood basketball surfaces, so only footwear with rubber soles are allowed. Turf shoes or cleats are not allowed to be worn during the competition. Please remind your players of that, although it seems obvious. We have had instances where all players show up with are either a pair of turf shoes or cleats. And so we don't want anybody running around in their socks trying to play. Hopefully this is an issue we won't run into, but if there's a red card that is given to either a player or a coach, there are red card fines. For a player, it's $50. For a coach, it's $300. Again, we hope this isn't an issue in any way, so be on your best behavior. And if a player or a coach is ejected, they are required to sit out at least the next game, possibly longer if depending on the severity of the infraction. Also, if we have any parents or spectators that are unruly, just a reminder that the coaches are required to manage the behavior of their team spectator, and you're responsible for your sidelines. So if a team has a spectator removed from the match or involved in any incidents in the parking lot or after a game, that team would be subject to a $300 fine. Ultimately, again, I hope we don't run into any instances like this. We just want to have a good, fun event. So let's have everybody just be on their best behavior and don't let the competition get the best of anyone. Following your match, if you win the game, you would collect the game card from the referee and bring it to the Illinois Youth Soccer staff on site to record the score. When you get to the facility, as you enter, there's basketball courts to the right, fields 1 through 4. To your left would be courts 5 through 8. In between, you'll see a concession stand, and a little bit closer to the courts 1 through 4 on your right, there's a hallway. That hallway will lead directly into an office, which is where IYSA staff will be headquartered for the whole day. So following the conclusion of your match, get those game cards from the referee and bring those there to be recorded. If the match ends in a tie, the team listed as home should grab it and bring it over. But to be frank, we don't care which team brings it, just as long as one team brings it over. One thing we would want to emphasize is please do not hang on to those game cards. If you have to go to another game, to coach another team, give the game card to one of your players and have them come bring it to us. We don't want to get to the point where we're in our final group play matches of the day and there's a team that hasn't submitted any scores. We want it, once we get those scores, we're immediately going to update the scoring in Got Soccer, so you'll be able to follow along online, and we'll also have some scoring sheets posted on site. But we can't post any scores without getting those official game cards to report. If for any reason you have a referee, sometimes referees think that don't listen to instructions completely and want to will tell you that they need to report the score. That's not correct. If you have any referee that refuses to give you the game card following the match, please come to the office and let us know. We will go get that game card, and we will also remind that referee of the proper procedure. So, again, if you win the game or if you tie and you're the home team, you should be the one that gets that game card and brings it in to record the score. So that sums up the information we have for you for pre-event. If you have any questions, you can contact myself, Chris, at the email here, or Katie, who will be handling all that pre-event paperwork. Both of us will also be on site for the event. You'll get a few more emails leading up to the event, including the week of, with some final reminders. We look forward to the event. This is our third year doing it. It continues to grow. One thing I did forget to mention, we do have trophy presentations for all age groups for our champion and finalists. So following the conclusion of the championship matches, both teams will take part in a trophy presentation. You'll see the trophy area set up at the complex, so your teams will make your way over there. We'll do a short presentation again with both teams in honor of sportsmanship. We like to have both teams together. We'll do medals and trophies, and we'll take photos of both teams to celebrate their accomplishments and for us to post about those teams on our social media and other aspects. So again, I want to thank you for your participation and support of the event and to Illinois Youth Soccer, and we will see you in a couple of weeks. In the meantime, if you have any additional questions, don't hesitate to contact either myself or Katie. Thanks.